What up, bro? Welcome to another episode of BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere. BrandonJaneauShow, social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, Brandon Janeau, Facebook, The BrandonJaneauShow, and of course, TikTok BrandonJaneauShow. Go follow me on all those social media platforms. I would appreciate it if you did. Um, really, where you go though is the YouTube channel, man. BrandonJaneauShow YouTube channel. Subscribe, comment. I do try to comment back when I see the comments. Like the vids, like the shorts. Helps an algorithm to get more people to look at the vids and look at the shorts. And look at the podcast, pretty much the visual of the podcast, man. So let's get into it, man. This is wrestling life. Now I know usually I do this like on Tuesdays or whenever the hell I got the time, but today I got time. Monday Night Raw is going back to 7 o'clock tonight. It will be at 7 o'clock, so I got some time to do this in this episode. And I want to talk about just wrestling. Just 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 want to talk about wrestling in its totality right now. Um, what I start? So a couple months ago, I did an episode called "Wrestling Sucks" in 2025. You would think those sentiments have changed, and they haven't. Wrestling still sucks in 2025. It's not good. Um, Last week's Monday Night Raw just really assaulted my goddamn wrestling love. Like it just, excuse me, it just assaulted it. Like, bro, I don't care. And then tonight, of course, like I said, Monday Night Raw is at 7 o'clock tonight in Dallas. I think at Fort Worth. I'm so to the point right now, man. I don't even want to watch that shit. I don't want to watch Monday Night Raw this week. I'm burnt out on it. Um, it's literally the same shit every fucking Monday. The Vision's gonna close it out with some fucking match that nobody cares about, and now you got Roman Reigns back. Great. This motherfucker has more appearances in the last 3 years than he's had matches. You know how fucking crazy that sounds? He's had more returns in the last 3 years than he's had matches. That's fucking ridiculous. That's crazy. Monday Night Raw sucks. You literally have been doing the same shit over and over. It's not just the main event. See, people keep saying it's just the main event. No, it's not just the main event. It's also how you're doing the women's division. It's a mixture of Laura Van Vancouver versus the Judgment Day girls, or it's Bailey versus the Judgment Day girls. It's like it's the same shit, bro. What the fuck are we doing? And because everything's in a pattern right now, everything is in a fucking locksmith. Stephanie's not gonna fight anybody that's not named Io or Rhea, so you don't know how to pull the trigger on that yet. Stephanie just got the belt. She got to do crown jewel. She's probably 9 out of 10 either going to be in war games or not in war games. My thing is she's probably going to be in war games. And I think the first person that's actually going to challenge Stephanie for the title is going to be Asuka. That would make the most sense. You've been kind of like, you know, using that for like the last couple of weeks. It would make sense if it's Asuka and Stephanie for her first real title defense, maybe even her first real rivalry. It would make sense it's Asuka and Stephanie. I actually think that'd be a great idea. You already have a built-in story. It makes sense. It should be the story. But you're doing the same shit with the mid card women's division that you're doing with your main event division. It's the Vision versus the Usos, or it's the Vision versus LA Knight. It's the same shit, bro. And no matter how many times you tell me that Roman Reigns is coming back, I do not care. It's a great thing that he's on TV, but bro, how many more times can you get excited for a dude that literally what shows up, spear, Superman punch, uh, acknowledge me, and get the fuck on? Like he leaves right after. Like who cares, bro? I don't think he needs a match with Crown Jewel. I know so many people like it needs to happen. If it's not Punk and Roman at Crown Jewel teaming up against the Vision, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't want to see him and Braun Breaker have a match. That'd be just so stupid to have a match against him and Braun, have a match between him and Braun Breaker at fucking Crown Jewel for fucking nothing. No reason at all. Braun Breaker needs a actual Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania. If you're gonna keep pushing this kid as the next big thing, the next number one guy, he needs a number one match. He needs that match against the guy that that's held the torch for the last 5 years. It's very stupid to just throw a match between Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker on a card that most people ain't probably even gonna be up to watch. That's very stupid to have a match between Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker when most people aren't even gonna be up to watch. This is why I think CM Punk and Roman on this tonight's show, because it has to be, excuse me, the Vision versus Punk and Roman. It has to. It doesn't make logical sense. And on top of that, people forget this also. Bronson Reed is also from Australia. People forget that. Bronson Reed is not going to be left off the card when he's from Australia. That makes no sense. The booking in WWE is horrendous. It sucks. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. Friday Night SmackDown actually felt like a good show last week. It was decent because they finally did what the fuck I've been telling them to do. Go get NXT. They're right the fuck there. It's not that hard. Javon Evans, Sol Ruka, Zarya. It makes total fucking sense to go get them. They're right the fuck there. There was a clear cut like, oh wow, this is new. This is new. I like this. They needed that shit. Hopefully they continue to push it. Hopefully they continue to do it. I don't know if they will because I think, again, it's fucking WWE and fucking SmackDown. I don't think they will be doing this, but we shall see. AEW. AEW. Congratulations on 6 years. Congratulations on 6 years. But you ain't exempt either. Like, every fucking week, I gotta see somebody on TikTok tell me how AEW storylines are great, or this makes sense, or this makes sense, or this is they're moving in the right direction. No, the fuck they're not. No, the fuck they're not. If they were moving in the right direction, and this is the thing about this, man, ratings of AEW will not be in this shit that it's in. Now, you can use the excuse like you always use, which is AEW had what's the excuse? AEW had you had MLB playoffs, and you had this, that, and the third for why AEW, you had this, that, and the third why AEW did not have the best ratings. I don't believe none of that shit. I don't believe none of that shit. Y'all use that excuse every time these motherfuckers don't have good ratings. Every time. It's somebody else's fault for why y'all can't have a good show. Or why people completely and utterly just turn off your show and don't watch it. If you have a dynamite, your key show, your flagship show, and it does 400,000 people, over 400,000 people, and this is supposed to be an anniversary show, by the way, and you want to do 400,000 people, that's a you thing. It's not a us thing. Collision is just as bad. This shit is bad, man. And I'm not one of these. And again, you got these AEW sickos and these AEW sickos and these WWE cult-like following motherfuckers that don't want to be honest anymore. And because you don't want to be honest, you build up this unrealistic thing that they can't fail or they can't be wrong. Clearly they are wrong because people are not watching this shit. Clearly they are wrong because people are not watching this shit. Now, do I think they're gonna go back up to maybe 600,000? Maybe. I mean, maybe tomorrow. I don't know really what Wednesday has for them, but you got a title Tuesday. You know, tomorrow night against going up against AEW, NXT and TNA situation, which is another thing that I'll talk about. You had 6 year anniversary and nobody cared, bro. Outside of the sickos and these people that just want to really just shit all over WWE, nobody cared. Andrade, congratulations, you found your new place, your new old place. I'm happy Andrade has got a job somewhere, but at the same time, bro, you've been failing wellness checks, drug tests in WWE, and they just let you walk. They just let you walk. They let you walk. No contesting it. They just like we can let him go. Andrade is too talented just to let him go. But clearly, there was something that he was failing to do, like drug tests. Like he was failing, and then on top of that, he wasn't even trying to, go and WWE was calling him to do, you know, try to get him to come and do these drug tests and these wellness policies, and he kept just brushing them off. All right then. Santos Escobar seems like he's also out the door. Santos Escobar reportedly is a free agent at the end of the night. He can go and sign to whoever he wants to go sign with. I'm happy for him. But where WWE and AEW are completely and utterly fucking up is that they give us the same shit over and over again. And it's funny how y'all can sit here and say that about WWE, but y'all can't say that shit about AEW. Because it's the same shit over and over again. Both of these fucking companies book the same shit every week. Every week. It's the same matches every week. You give me a 6-man, $100,000 all-star match or an 8-man all-star match for $100,000 or $50,000. Why are you giving me money? The fuck is going on? And it's the same thing with WWE. I'm gonna be honest. I think the Vision should be on SmackDown. I think the Vision should be on SmackDown. I think the Vision fits better on SmackDown. On Raw, you can tell there's something off with this group because you have people like CM Punk and LA Knight and Stephanie Vaquer and Rhea Ripley and all these other people. They feel bigger than that actual group. And watching them Friday night, I was like, they actually fit. They actually fit. They actually fit. Like they actually fit on Friday Night SmackDown. And I said this when Seth had the briefcase. I said, if I was them to kill this Punk Seth Rollins storyline, I would have Seth Rollins cash in on Cody Rhodes. Punk wins his belt. Seth gets to be champion. You have them at Crown Jewel, have this match. It's over. It's done. We can move on. I said that when that shit was going on. The Vision fits better on SmackDown, man. They just feel better on SmackDown. I don't know what it is. I think because SmackDown doesn't have that many stars, and SmackDown doesn't have that type of pull, and if Bronson and Braun Breaker on SmackDown, they can at least have actual decent fucking matches with all types of different people. Imagine a Vision versus DIY. You saw them against Fraxium. Imagine them against the Street Profits. Imagine them against, you know, looks like they're gonna tote Ray Phoenix out with Javon Evans right now. But that's something. Legado del Fantasma. That's something. Or La Garza, I should say. That's something. I'm looking for like I prefer those that I prefer the Vision on SmackDown. I prefer the Vision on SmackDown. But all of this booking, all of this booking for both companies feel like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like both companies feel like they just don't know what the fuck they're doing, man. And y'all are still arguing online like this company's better. No, this company's better. Bitch, both of these companies suck. What the fuck what are you arguing over? Both of these companies suck. They suck. You're arguing over nothing. Nothing. The best thing that is happening in wrestling right now is TNA and NXT. That's it. That's the best thing that's happening. And I just saw a lot of people also getting their feelings over TNA NXT having to change Invasion to Showdown. I get that. But at the same time, it's a political thing. It's not like it's a political thing. Me personally, this is what I would have done. I would have turned, and I know this would also cause some backlash, but at least it would have made way more fucking sense. I would have called it Takeover. NXT versus TNA Takeover. At least when you call it a takeover. Now, again, nothing's gonna ever replace Takeover, NXT takeovers back in the day. But if you were to bring back that legendary name, Takeover, to build the suspense of this, holy shit, what that would have been like. I think they should have called it NXT Takeover. I think they should have called it NXT TNA Presents Takeover. That would have been dope. That would have been dope. Both of these companies suck. But that is at least something interesting. Now, a lot of people are also saying TNA is losing a lot of people. I saw Laredo Kid say, he's done with TNA. I don't know if he's done with AAA because he's been on a lot of the World Class shows. I don't know if he's done with AAA. Laredo Kid is somebody that WWE could definitely use. I mean, he's completely different. He's a luchador. That definitely would help uh, with this Dominic shit that they clearly just need to get the fuck off of. Um, I've been very open about this shit. I don't like Dominic Mysterio as the Intercontinental Champion. I think he's extremely fucking boring. I don't think there's anything about this kid that is actually intriguing. My guy Dre on Wheels, shout out to Dre. I was on my family straight through the ropes Wednesday, and we were talking about this. And I talked about why I don't really think Dominic Mysterio is. I literally said I don't think Dominic Mysterio is the future, like everybody has perceived him to be. I don't think he is. And Dre on Wheels said that Dom doesn't have an actual rival. And I actually agree. And then I had to think about it. Dom does actually have a rival. The problem is Dom's rival, Dom's rival is his father. That's the only one y'all care about. That's the only emotional thing you give a fuck about. Dom's rival is his father. So what happens when Ray leaves? What happens when Ray retires? This is why I keep saying about Dominic Mysterio. He doesn't have a story. Once Ray leaves and he has to turn face and he's out the Judgment Day and he drops the belts, what is his story? What do you care about this kid? See, y'all keep thinking he's Eddie. He's not Eddie, bro. Eddie was a beast in the ring. Dom has none of that. Dom has none of that ability. Can he grow into that maybe? Yeah. We keep forgetting Dom's only been wrestling for 5 fucking years. Like he's only been wrestling since what? SummerSlam 2020? Yeah. SummerSlam 2020. SummerSlam 2020? He's only been wrestling for 5 years. So yeah, it kind of does feel like Dom still has a lot to go in the ring aspect. That's why I'm kind of where I'm at in my mind when it comes to that. Like I think Dom has a lot to learn still in the ring aspect. But Dom can carry a match. Dom still can't carry a match. Dom is not particularly great at being the better wrestler, the best wrestler, because he's not great at it. His character sucks. It's not good. And like I keep saying, once this aura of this time period, again, you keep forgetting that we keep forgetting that, like I said, Dom only rival is his father. That's his rival. That's his key rival. Dom's rivalry is his dad. That's it. In the moment Ray is gone, like really gone, what is Dom? I said this when Sammy beat Solo, and I saw a lot of people getting their feelings. Why is Sammy beating Solo? I don't know why they took the belt off of Solo. Solo's more of a character. This doesn't make no sense. I kept saying this shit. I said the best thing you can do for Sami Zayn is give him the belt and let him do a U.S. Open challenge. I literally put this on TikTok. It's literally on my TikTok. I literally said this. The best thing you can do for Sami Zayn right now is put him on SmackDown, let him win the U.S. title, and do the U.S. Open challenge again. And it's exactly what has happened. And now every fucking Friday night, I promise you this, you are watching that U.S. Open challenge every Friday night. Because that's the best thing on Friday Night SmackDown. That's what I feel like Raw needs to do with Dominic Mysterio. They need to do that same exact shit with Dominic Mysterio. They need to take the Intercontinental Championship off of Dominic Mysterio and put it on Penta. And do the same shit they're doing with Sami Zayn with Penta. Let him just go out there and wrestle. I don't want to hear you talk. Just go out there and wrestle. I promise you instantly it will make the damn title mean more than what it is right now. That title is not prestigious at all. It's just on a character. Great. But that title is not prestigious. Which brings me to my other feeling towards wrestling right now. I don't like factions. I'm so fucking done with factions in wrestling. I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm so tired of factions in wrestling. I'm so fucking tired of factions in wrestling. Like Judgment Day, MFT, the Don Callis family, um, the Death Riders, uh, Wyatt Sticks, the Vision. There's so many factions that none of these factions make sense. None of these dudes are getting over, and it's even worse. It's even worse when a faction doesn't even feel like they need to be together. The Vision, the Death Riders, Don Callis family, MFTs, the Bloodline. None of these factions need each other. It's just a bunch of fucking nothing. And I'm trying to care, and I can't care anymore. Like these factions in wrestling just don't matter. It don't make sense. It sucks. Roman's gonna be on TV tonight. Great. This motherfucker's gonna spend 20 minutes talking about nothing. They're gonna cheer for him. Roman Reigns, OTC, all that shit. And it's gonna come up to be nothing. For 20 minutes, he's just gonna be talking about nothing. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Acknowledge me. It's the same shit over and over again, bruh. I don't care about none of these factions. I wish they would end them. I wish they would find new ways. Brian Breaker could still use Paul Heyman as a mouthpiece. Seth Rollins don't need Paul Heyman. You don't need him. You don't need him. More importantly, man, the talk of the town is still about John Cena. What do you do with John Cena? Right? This is what I would do. There's two options I feel like that John Cena's final opponent should be. The first option for John Cena's opponent should be Dominic Mysterio. But this is how I do it. This is how I would do it. I would have John Cena beat Dominic Mysterio in San Diego. I would have John Cena beat Dominic Mysterio in San Diego at War Games and Survivor Series. And that is how he becomes a Grand Slam champion. I would have John Cena beat Dominic Mysterio and take the belt for Dominic Mysterio in San Diego at War Games. Now, people are going to sit there and say, well, John should be in War Games. No, he shouldn't. He should be in War Games if Brock Lesnar's not in it. Everything should be leading to one thing should segue into another because we're not going to see John Cena on Monday Night Raw after War Games. So him being in War Games makes no fucking sense if his opponents is going to be Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar, and maybe Drew McIntyre. Out of any of those five, do you think John Cena is fighting in his last fucking match? Maybe Seth. But y'all are the same ones that literally sat there and told me how much y'all don't like Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Y'all thought that match sucked. So why the fuck would you want to see it again? That don't make no sense. I would have John Cena beat Dominic Mysterio in San Diego, setting up his final match, which would be Dom and him for the Intercontinental Championship. Dom beats him, takes the belt back, and that's how Dom gets more over, in a sense, or brings him back down to heel, which you kind of need him to be. I think Dom beating John Cena in his last match would make way more sense. The second option, and this is an option nobody's talking about, LA Knight. I think LA Knight would be the perfect person to go one-on-one with John Cena and to beat John Cena. I think LA Knight is the perfect person to beat John Cena. For two reasons. One, you need LA Knight to get over. LA Knight's still over, but LA Knight has not had a big win against anyone since Saturday night's main event, Seth Rollins, when Seth Rollins played this injury angle, started this injury angle. He hasn't beaten Rand. He didn't beat Roman. He didn't beat Punk. He hasn't beaten Jay. He didn't beat Jay. He hasn't beaten Punk. He hasn't beaten Seth. He hasn't beaten Roman. He hasn't beaten anybody of significant name in a very long time in a clean one-on-one match. If he's the person, and then on top of that, y'all were teasing this shit for like 2 years. When John Cena came back doing the writer strike in Hollywood, the first person he came and saw was LA Knight. LA Knight was hot as fucking fish grease. And John Cena came out and was the special guest referee at Battleground. Yeah, Battleground a couple years ago. And he was the special guest referee for LA Knight. No, Payback. It was Payback. Payback. He was a special guest referee for LA Knight and The Miz. And John Cena, gave LA Knight shook his hand at the end of the match on stage. And then the only one-on-one title match that LA Knight has ever garnered is because of John Cena. John Cena interrupted Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns came out there, and John Cena was like, to be the number one contender of that belt, you have to earn it. And I haven't earned it, but I know somebody that has. And LA Knight came out, and that's how LA Knight got the title match against Roman Reigns. They have been plotting this for 2 years. So if you're gonna give me a nothing kind of build, LA Knight can sell it. LA Knight can sell it better than AJ Styles. I mean, like, you've already got something there. You might as well just use it. I think LA Knight would be the perfect person to go one-on-one with John Cena. I think we're looking to, and I've been very vocal and said it needs to be Gunther, but I don't want Gunther to have this preconceived notion that every time somebody has a final match, it has to be him. Like, I think that's very stupid. I think it's very dumb. If that's the way you want to play it, then Goldberg, John Cena, and then maybe Brock Lesnar, maybe at SummerSlam of next year, Gunther and Brock Lesnar, and that's Brock's last match ever. Cool, but even in that sense, I just think that that's you're basically telling us that Gunther is the legend killer, which is a moniker I wouldn't mind him having. But LA Knight and John Cena feels like a better situation. LA Knight needs to win. LA Knight needs to win. He needs that big number one championship like caliber hit. He needs that win. And the second reason why I said it was another reason is just in case John Cena, just in case CM Punk, just in case CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship from Seth Rollins before WrestleMania, which I still think CM Punk is going to fight Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I know everybody's like, it shouldn't happen. It should happen. If LA Knight beats John Cena, LA Knight has momentum going into WrestleMania. WrestleMania season, I should say. If Punk already beats Seth Rollins, let's say he beats him at a Saturday Night Main Event, maybe he beats him on the same Saturday Night Main Event, takes the belt. You just threw a monkey wrench into the plans of WrestleMania that nobody saw coming. Seth's not champion. Punk is. So who fights Punk? LA Knight. And I'm not saying LA Knight got to win the Royal Rumble. You can get that shit to maybe Drew McIntyre, which I would not mind. Or maybe let's say Drew McIntyre loses. Cody loses the belt before Drew McIntyre loses the belt before he goes into WrestleMania season, and he has to chase Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton, which I actually think would be a great idea to have him chase somebody going into WrestleMania instead of him being the person that's getting chased. And then you could redo all of the shit you did this past year with Cody Rhodes. But me personally, I think LA Knight beating John Cena at Saturday Night Main Event sets up Punk and LA Knight for WrestleMania. Sets up Punk and LA Knight for WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not saying LA Knight needs to beat CM Punk. Let's say Punk beats him. But that gives LA Knight the reason to go, what y'all love so much, for him to go heel. Because he can't win the big one. He could beat John Cena, but he can't win the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's another thing y'all been teasing. It's LA Knight and CM Punk. So let's say LA Knight, CM Punk beats. Let's say CM Punk beats Seth Rollins before WrestleMania. He gets the belt back. I would not mind seeing CM Punk versus LA Knight for World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. I think that'd be a perfect thing. But it all stems from from LA Knight beating John Cena. I think it'll be a perfect one. Now, the simpler one is Dom and John Cena. Have John Cena beat Dominic Mysterio for the title in San Diego. Dominic Mysterio is from San Diego. He beat John. And on top of that, it will automatically. Nobody's gonna boo John Cena in San Diego, but you can test and see where Dom is really on the spectrum of face or heel because he's going in there against the fucking guy. And everybody knows if John wins this, he's the Grand Slam champion. I don't know how long you keep the Intercontinental Championship on John Cena. I mean, I don't know how long you keep the Intercontinental Championship on Dominic Mysterio to get him all the way to San Diego. But I don't see you leaving Dominic Mysterio off of the card in San Diego. I think the best way is to have John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. He beats Dom, and it goes into Saturday night's main event because he has no build. You know Dom can build it by himself because it's Dominic Mysterio. And that is the last match. It's John versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship, Saturday night's main event. And you give also one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that's Dom's main event. Dom gets an actual main event for the Intercontinental Championship, and he beats John Cena there. Boom. You get what you wanted. You get a star. You get what you wanted. And that's the thing. But I think John Cena's retirement tour hasn't been great. I'm not going to sit up here and lie. Like, it's been great. It hasn't. But I'll talk about that more this upcoming Saturday. Like I said, Wrestling Life, I'll be back doing that rain review show of Crown Jewel Australia. Also, I will be doing a Bound for Glory rain review show. And tomorrow night, TNA versus NXT going down. AEW also has the title Tuesdays, I guess. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting. But yeah, I guess I go get ready for Raw. I guess. Um, but that is it, man. It's Wrestling Life. I am Brandon Janeau. Peace.